Alright guys, so, yep, I finally got to read through, and I'm finally reviewing Batman TMNT. I gotta say, this is a pretty interesting crossover, and while it is good, it has its flaws. It does have its flaws, but on a whole, right out the gate, do I recommend reading this? Yeah, if you're a fan of Batman and of Batman and the Ninja Turtles, absolutely. Give this a read, because you won't be disappointed, because well, you might be disappointed more so if you're a Ninja Turtles fan, but having finally the novelty of seeing Batman finally meet the Ninja Turtles, something we never thought would ever happen, with, obviously they're from two different companies, and, the Turtles operate on a totally different level, even more so beyond Batman. But at the same time, it's a crossover everyone's always kind of wanted to see, and we finally got it, and it's a nice little crossover, and it is good, but if you're a Ninja Turtles fan, you might be left a little disappointed. But if you're a Batman fan, feel free, because you just got your wish of saying, "Oh, Batman can beat everybody!" Sorry, but yeah, this does cater more to Batman. Me personally, I just feel like it caters more to Batman than it does the Ninja Turtles, and that's the biggest flaw with this comic, and let me explain. So if you don't know the story of this comic book, let me bring it up right now. What has happened is that Krang, it's told through explanation, by the way, you don't see it, but yeah, basically Krang has teleported the Ninja Turtles, Shredder, and a majority of the Foot Clan away from their dimension and into another dimension. He doesn't want to bother with them, he's done with them, and now now that neither the Shredder nor the Turtles are around, Krang can now, move on with his plans. Let me talk about why this is kind of a problem right out the gate. You see, Krang does this, and it's told through background of, also, yeah, he sends Splinter as well. It's told through a flashback of what happened with Krang sending the Turtles, Splinter, the Shredder, and the Foot Clan in there, but you don't really see it, nor do you really get any haste for them, you never really get any haste, and what happened, we never get to see what Krang's up to during, this whole event of the Turtles and the Shredder being in the DC universe. You never get to see, April and Casey being like, "Oh man, Krang's doing all this horrible shit now that you're gone." We never really get that. And there is some sense of urgency, but it's never like, "Oh, we gotta get back home and stop Krang." No, it's more like, we just want to go back home. And yeah, that's kind of the problem. The only one who feels really urgent to get back home is Shredder, and even then he's like, "Fuck, why don't I just rule two Earths? I can totally do that." But yeah, that is a major weakness, is that even though we're told that Krang did this, we never get to see him do it, nor do we get to see the effects of what's going on with Krang. Anyway, still a good comic. The artwork's really good. It does actually kind of remind me of a more sketch work of the artwork for from the Arkham games. If you guys remember the Arkham City comic book, and a lot of the comics from the Arkham universe, they have this very cartoony yet very dramatic style to it, and that's what this artwork is. I really enjoyed the artwork for both Batman and the Turtles. They both look really good. Obviously this is a cover art I'm using right here, but yeah. Now, in this story, the Ninja Turtles have set up camp in the sewers of Gotham, and they encounter Killer Croc. It's a short fight, but at the same time, it's kind of like, yeah, I kind of always wanted to see the Turtles take on Killer Croc. That's kind of awesome. And this does enter on a lot of levels of what I wanted to see in this crossover. Shredder meets Ra's al Ghul. Boom! I got a team up between Shredder and Ra's al Ghul. I also got to see, Batman meet the Turtles. Boom, I got that. But, the fight between Batman and the Turtles, I call a little BS because, yeah, Batman taking on all four Turtles and beating them and giving Shredder a hard time? What? I was kind of like, the Turtles, yeah, they're all great fighters separately, but combined, they're a well-organized team. I would have liked it better I wouldn't have minded if Batman beat them, but had a little more difficulty beating them. I'd have believed that, but in the fight, it feels a little short. Like, he just took them down easily, and the only one he had trouble with was Splinter, and even then he was taking it to Splinter. I was like, I don't know if I like that. You see, this is my biggest complaint, is that, again, this feels more like Batman's story, and the Turtles are just standing around sometimes. But no, there is some good moments. This actually, if anything, it's focused more on Raphael and Batman. That's the interest. The other thing is that really we didn't get any. There's some Leo Batman stuff, but mostly it's Raph and Batman, which I was like. Now I like Raphael. I enjoy me some Raphael, but I never really thought like he would meld well with Batman. And there is some moments in here where Batman is the one, where Raphael just storms out of the Batcave while they're trying to find Shredder. And Batman goes after him and tells him, look, you need to be with your family. I'm like, this doesn't feel like a Batman thing. This feels more like, and even the rest of the Turtles are like, nah, just let him go, he'll be fine. Also, kudos for the turtle in the trench coat, I love that. And yeah, it's Batman who goes after him in the Batmobile, and I'm kind of like, first off, I feel like it should be Leo or one of the other brothers going after him, and not letting him, wander around a city they're not familiar with in an alternate reality. It just felt weird to me. It wasn't bad, because I did like the conversation between Raph and Batman of, families. And obviously this is Damian Wayne as Robin, and yeah, it's really nice to see that. I also enjoyed the mutated Gotham villains. That was really cool. I really enjoyed that, and although I was kind of surprised they didn't go for the obvious and make Joker a hyena. I'm really surprised. Like, I thought hyena, but nope, they make him into a cobra. Who'd have thunk it, right? Yeah. The fight scenes are pretty good. It does get a little cartoony, but at the same time, I enjoyed it. I didn't mind when it got a little hokey, especially with all the Gotham villains are mutated. Also, I kind of enjoyed the explanation of, the Turtles, since there's no mutagen here on Earth, on this Earth, they're connected to it and they're dying. Although that doesn't really make a lot of science, that doesn't sound very science-y, because at the same time, I remember the crossover between Batman and, Ghostbusters and Ninja Turtles, and that never was a problem. Like, they were just there for a good amount of time. So, I don't know what the whole thing with the mutagen has to stay in their Earth or they'll die. I was like, the Turtles have been to multiple Earths before. This has not been a problem. Not just in crossovers, but they've been to Dimension X, and well, Dimension X has mutation there, so I guess that's not a problem. But no, they've been off-world and all this other problems. I've never had that before. But yeah, it was cool. I enjoyed the brief Batman Shredder fight. That was a lot of fun. And this kind of hits on all levels, except, this does feel more like a Batman story than it does you see, this is the thing with crossovers, and it's always tricky to do crossovers, is you have to balance out both sides. And while this did do a good job on some elements, I felt like, again, this felt more like a Batman story than Batman with the Batman and TMNT. So, is this still a good crossover? Yeah. Is it, is it a little one-sided? Sometimes, but at the same time, it's still pretty enjoyable. I would have liked to see other things like Donatello and, sorry about that. Where was I? Yeah, I would have liked to seen stuff like Donatello playing around on the Bat computer. We get a little of that, but not enough as I wanted to. What else? I kind of wish that we had more Mike. I wish we got to see like Mikey hang out with some of the members of the Bat family, something like that. But I understand it's a 6-issue miniseries, and even then it felt a little. There had to be stuff that cut out. I understand, but yeah, this was pretty good. I still, like I said, as much as I harp on, it's more of a Batman story than it is a Batman and TMNT story. That's not to say it's bad. I mean, yeah, we could finally get to see Batman hang out with the Ninja Turtles, something I thought we would never get to see. Plus, we got to see some fights we wanted to see. Batman and Shredder, the Ninja Turtles, and Killer Croc. How awesome is that? So yeah, it's not. I know I harped on it a little bit, but having said that, I'm kind of cool with this crossover. I still, if you want to ask me what my favorite TMNT crossover would have to be, it's still the Ghostbusters Ninja Turtles crossover. That was actually really good, because it balanced out both, Ghostbusters and the Ninja Turtles. That's the big thing I always look for in crossovers, is, the balancing act between, both sides. And that's a difficult thing with crossovers, is that you always have to balance out one side and not make the other one overshadowed. That's the big thing. It's kind of like one of my favorite IDW crossovers is the Star Trek Legion of Superheroes crossover. Yeah, something with Legion of Superheroes that I actually enjoy, and that's actually one of the best crossovers ever I've ever read. But yeah, so yeah, if you've read it, comment below, let me know, what did you think of the Batman Ninja Turtles crossover? Once again, hope you all enjoyed this review, and I will see you guys later.